A harsh new reality has hit the American auto industry. General Motors, a manufacturing giant, has announced immediate plant shutdowns, sending shockwaves through communities that rely on these jobs. Thousands now face an uncertain future as the news leaves families scrambling for answers. This isn't just about cars. It's about people whose livelihoods are suddenly at risk. 14,000 jobs are impacted across North America, each one representing a family with bills to pay. The shutdowns ripple outward, affecting suppliers, local businesses, and entire regional economies. For many, the dream of a stable career in the auto industry feels more fragile than ever. The silence on the assembly lines is filled with anxiety and questions. GM is battling persistent parts shortages and a slowdown in electric vehicle demand, forcing the company to rethink its production plans. These challenges, combined with tough market conditions, have created a perfect storm. The result, painful but, in GM's view, necessary decisions to halt production. The timing is especially tough, coming just after a major labor contract promised better wages and job security. Now, many of those same workers are being told to stay home. This raises tough questions about the true security of manufacturing jobs in a rapidly changing market. The promises made at the bargaining table are now being tested by harsh economic realities. The impact is felt most at two key GM plants, Wentzville in Missouri and Factory Zero in Detroit. Wentzville, the heart of GM's mid-size truck and van production, has gone almost completely dark, sidelining thousands. Popular vehicles like the Chevrolet Colorado and GMC Savannah are no longer rolling off the line. Factory Zero, GM's flagship for electric vehicles, is also paused, showing that even the future isn't immune to market pressures. Here, high-profile EVs like the Hummer and Cadillac Escalade IQ are on hold. In total, about 14,000 workers are sidelined, with the largest group in Wentzville and hundreds more at Factory Zero. The shutdowns ripple through the supply chain, putting even more jobs at risk beyond the factory walls. For workers, a temporary layoff means immediate financial strain and deep uncertainty. Supplemental unemployment benefits help, but they don't replace a full paycheck. Families are forced to rethink budgets and put plans on hold. The phrase temporary layoff offers little comfort when there's no clear end in sight. The disruption is profound, and the weight is filled with anxiety. These shutdowns are more than numbers, they're a human crisis. Communities built around these plants are left in limbo. The main culprit behind the shutdowns is a familiar one: parts shortages. A single missing component can halt a multi-billion-dollar plant, and the global supply chain remains fragile. The industry has battled shortages, especially of semiconductor chips, since 2020 saw on Nother born Nassau on Nother one. And the problem persists. At the same time, demand for electric vehicles is cooling. High interest rates, charging concerns, and lower gas prices have made buyers hesitant. Expensive EVs are piling up on dealer lots, forcing GM to slow production. The auto market is cyclical, and after years of strong sales, a slowdown is here. Inflation and uncertainty make consumers wary of big purchases. GM's official line is that these are routine production adjustments to manage inventory, but for workers, these standard moves mean lost income and job insecurity. The shutdowns are a stark reminder of how vulnerable these jobs are to global economic shifts. For many, the process feels anything but routine. Wentzville is no stranger to shutdowns. The latest pause due to a parts shortage is just the newest chapter in a long history of disruptions. In 2021, the global chip shortage forced extended layoffs, and more recently, the plant was a key battleground during the UAW's stand-up strike. Workers fought for and won a historic contract, hoping for stability. That contract brought wage increases and cost of living adjustments, but even the strongest union deal can't force the company to build cars when parts are missing or demand is low. This layoff is a harsh reminder of those limits. The pattern is clear: market forces and supply chain issues can override even the best labor agreements. For workers, uncertainty is the only constant. Factory Zero was meant to be GM's electric future. Billions were invested to make it a state-of-the-art EV plant, producing the Hummer EV and Cadillac Escalade IQ. but now production is paused for 5 weeks, impacting hundreds of workers. The reason demand for high-end EVs isn't meeting expectations. Earlier this year, jobs were already cut at the plant for similar reasons. The dream of mass EV adoption has hit a reality check. Consumers are cautious, and expensive EVs are sitting unsold. For GM, it's a strategic move to avoid costly inventory surpluses. But for workers, it's a worrying sign that the electric future may be further away than promised. The pause at Factory Zero raises questions about the timeline and feasibility of GM's all-electric ambitions. The road to an all-electric future is proving longer and bumpier than expected. GM's official message is clear: these shutdowns are temporary, standard business moves to align production with demand. The language is clinical, focused on efficiency and reassuring investors, but for the 14,000 affected workers, it's a sudden loss of income and a cloud of anxiety. Supplemental benefits help, but they don't erase the stress of not knowing when work will return. The shutdowns aren't limited to the US. GM's plant in Silao, Mexico, has also faced similar pauses. The strategy is the same across North America: adjust output to match market realities. Recent labor agreements brought wage gains and better benefits, but they can't create demand or fix supply chains. For many workers, it's a bitter pill. Job security depends on more than just a contract. The reality is that even the best agreements can't shield workers from the unpredictable market. The human cost of these shutdowns is real and immediate. GM's shutdowns put the American auto industry at a crossroads. The transition to electric vehicles is proving more complicated than expected, and supply chain fragility remains a threat. The core issue: a mismatch between ambitious production plans and actual consumer demand. Billions have been invested in EVs, but many buyers remain hesitant, leading to unsold inventory and idled plants. For workers, the promise of green jobs feels distant when factories are silent. Recent union contracts help, but can't insulate workers from market forces. The future of US manufacturing depends on building a resilient, adaptable ecosystem. That means strengthening supply chains, investing in infrastructure, and supporting workers through retraining and transition. The silent assembly lines are a call to action for a more stable and prosperous future.